いらっしゃいませ。
I've just been shopping in the 7-Eleven Japan.
お弁当いかがでしょうか？
The first thing we've got today is this thing here. It's pasta salad with pork, veggies, and Yuzu Ponzu sauce. Yeah. So first, let's talk about the ingredients. First, the pork. So it's cooked in the shabu shabu style, which if you've never heard of that, it's thinly sliced pork and it's dipped into a broth. And then you take it out, you only cook it for about 10 seconds. You take it out, dip it in some dipping sauce and stick it in your mouth. It's really good. So shabu shabu, basically it's onomatopoeic. It means swish, swish. Now this little part here, this is the yuzu ponzu sauce. So first, yuzu. What is a yuzu? It's a kind of a citrus fruit. I don't know, it's kind of like a cross between a lemon and a lime and an orange. It's kind of a funny fruit, but it's very popular in Asia. The funny thing is, it's got loads of seeds inside, so people don't normally eat it just as it is. They usually just squeeze the juice and use it for like sauces or put it on top of grilled fish, that kind of thing. So that is in this part here. It's made up of grated radish, you know, the big white daikon, and it's mixed together with ponzu sauce. Have you ever heard of ponzu? Ponzu is a kind of a soy sauce, but it's made from yuzu, and it's got a more citrusy, a little bit more sweet flavor than regular soy sauce, and it's a little bit lighter. It's often used for summer dishes or to give something a slightly more tart taste if it's very oily or something like that. So this is called oroshi ponzu. Ponzu sometimes contains other things like dashi, rice vinegar, mirin, which is sweet sake, or regular sake. So there's different varieties, but it usually all tastes good. It's time for our close-up. So it comes in this nice little package. It's got all the information on the front, and you can see all the things through the clear packaging. There's plenty of pasta in there, some nice fresh veggies, everything's in there. And if you can see, nestled underneath there, it's hiding, there she is. We've got our little bag of dressing. It was hiding in there, and we take out this plastic sheet which was separating everything, and this is the oroshi ponzu. You can see it looks quite meaty, but it's all made of vegetables, and this is the shabu shabu pork. Now it doesn't look so appetizing, but believe me, it tastes really good. Loads of lovely fresh veggies in there, lots of radish and other kinds of things in there. So we put in the dressing, and now comes the difficult part. You gotta mix it all together. I seem to be doing this quite a lot in these videos. Mixy, 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 in we go. Get everything all mixed together. Make sure you got all that oroshi ponzu all mixed through. That's very important. And it's starting to come together. Look at that, a thing of beauty. I can't wait to get stuck into some of this, I tell you. The pork just looks really juicy and probably really tender. And mixed in with all this ponzu, oh, it's gonna be good. You can see even right down to the bottom, it's got all the dressing. There's plenty of dressing in that tiny little package, and it just coats everything very nicely. So let's dig in. Okay, so I'll take off the top here. Now, as you saw in the video there is a tiny little, it's not that tiny, actually there's a big dressing packet in here. Oh, where is it? So there's the little dressing package here. So I'll put that to the side. And then also we have another little plastic thing which is separating the pasta from the veggies and stuff. So we'll put that to the side too. Give me a few seconds till I get my things out here. And now, let the fun begin. So pour this all over the place. Okay, now. So again, if you're in your hotel room and you're worried about getting things dirty, put down a towel, because this could, oh God, it could cause some problems. So make sure you got all the radish, all the ponzu, oroshi ponzu I should say, all mixed in. So I'm just going to mix all this together. Oh, I'm getting tired here. This is much more work than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so I think I've got it all mixed together. So first, what I'm going to say is the pieces of meat. I think you get 3, maybe 4 pretty big chunks of meat. It's a fairly good serving, so I'm pretty pleased with that. First, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have a bite of the meat and give you my opinion on that one. Mmm. Oh, mummy, daddy. Now that is super tender. It's juicy. Of course, I put some dressing on it, but it's really juicy, and the color looks, because it's just basically been blanched, which is cooked in hot water, or maybe a very light broth. It doesn't look much, but when you start eating it, you can really feel the flavors come through, and the dressing, of course, gives it that extra kick. But looks can be deceiving, because this is super tender, super juicy, and I think one of the key factors with the tastiness of this is the sesame. It's got fresh sesame seeds all the way through it, so it's giving it that kind of a nutty kind of a flavor. So let's go in for a bit of the pasta, because after all, it is a pasta salad. I haven't even touched the pasta or talked about it yet. So it looks really fresh, perfectly cooked. That is really nice. So the pasta's probably a little bit more, I wouldn't say overcooked, but it's not al dente. It's cooked a little bit longer than probably your usual Italian dishes. I don't know why they've done that, but maybe it's to kind of soak up the flavor of the dressing or something. I'm not too sure, but still, I'm a big fan of it. So together with these fresh veggies and the pork, and this ponzu, oroshi ponzu, has a very kind of a unique taste because it's citrusy and savory at the same time, and has a little touch of umami and a little bit of saltiness. So I don't know, it just all comes together and produces this like a symphony of flavors. The price for this is 388 yen, including tax, which is $2.60. The calories are actually not too bad, 255. What's my rating? I'm going to give this 4 out of 5. It's got everything you need in like a pasta salad, and it's got something different. I think those little things like the sesame seeds or the radish or the oroshi ponzu, just the whole thing which comes together. And the pork, which is actually, looking at my notes here, it's pork loin, which is actually a really good cut of pork. They're not skimping on anything here, so you really get a good dish. And can't believe the quality of this from a convenience store. So definitely gets the thumbs up from me. Now, let's move on to something strangely sweet.
Umai.
What do we have here? Well, it's Mitarashi Dango, rice dough dumplings in a sweet and salty sauce. Yes, this is our dessert today. So, looking at it, wow, this is one of the funkier ones. Probably if you see this in the convenience store, you'd probably say, what the heck is that? It does look a bit kind of alienish, but I'm sure it's going to taste okay. So the Japanese name for this is Torori Koku Mitarashi, which is basically glutinous dumpling dough generously covered with sweet, tangy, rich sauce. So it sounds pretty good, doesn't it? But looking at it, it does look a bit weird, but let's take a closer look. So it comes in this nice little container again. It actually looks like mozzarella cheese from this angle. Wow, is it mozzarella cheese in there? And it's got a really thick, glutinous looking sauce. Look at that stuff, it's so thick. It just slops all over the place. It's all gloopy. And there's one of the little dango, or should we say dumplings. And you can see the thickness and the wonderful colors of that sauce. Wow. So I put it on a plate here to try and cut it, but I didn't do a very good job. It's really difficult to cut with one of these little forks because the texture is so chewy and really sticky. But it's not actually all that sticky, but it just looks really sticky. You'll see that when I bite into one later. Look at that lovely thick sauce. These Mitarashi Dango came from Kyoto, and they're supposed to have originated from the Kamo Mitarashi tea house. And there's a shrine nearby, so they would offer these dumplings as a gift to the gods. So in front of the shrine, they would have water to purify the people going into the shrine, and the bubbles in the water, well, these little dango are supposed to symbolize the bubbles in the water. So it's very deep meaning. Eventually, the people at the shrine started selling them on a stick, and they would grill them like a barbecue in front of the shrine and sell them to passers-by. So usually they're served with kind of like a charred look to them, got a little bit darker brown, and put on a skewer. And after they've been kind of charred, they put this thick sauce on them and serve them to the people. So these dumplings are made from rice flour. It's made from a 50-50 mix of regular rice flour, which is long grain rice flour, and the other 50% is made from glutinous short grain rice flour. So the combination of both of them give them this very special texture. Especially the glutinous flour makes it all kind of stretchy and a little bit chewy. So let's dig in. Oh. So again, if you're in your hotel, again, I always say this, be really careful because this is loads of like sticky sauce in here. If you get it on your clothes or on your, I don't know, on the carpet or something, it's going to be a big problem. So be very careful. So looking at it, oh my goodness me, look at this. Look at that. It's so slimy. And inside, they're all nestling inside here. Oh, trying to pull one out. My goodness me. There you go. I got one out. So looking at it, they're about this size here, covered in this wonderful sauce. Okay, let's try some. Okay, so the first thing that hits you is the saltiness. So the dango themselves don't have a great deal of flavor, which is why they're coated in all this sauce. But the sauce definitely has kind of a salty, sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's just a really nice balance of flavors. How can you describe the taste? It's not caramel, definitely not caramel, but it's like soy sauce and sugar, but not a lot of soy sauce. Very difficult to explain the flavor, but so if you're not the most adventurous of people, definitely give these a try. It's going to open up a whole new world of flavors and textures. Dig in. This comes in at 227 yen, which is $1.52. Not too bad for what you're getting. Calorie-wise, it's 262. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. The main reason because it's not really my thing, but it's really good. But I personally prefer things like chocolate cake or ice cream, you know, those kinds of Western things. But definitely, when in Japan, do as the Japanese do and give it a try.
ありがとう。
Next up, Dodekamin Big. So this is one of the top energy drinks in Japan. It's made by the Asahi Drink Company. So you know those drinks like Red Bull or Monster, which have been really popular recently. This is the Japanese version, and it's normally sold in a 500 milliliter bottle or even smaller, but this one is big. So it's 600 milliliters. It's guaranteed to give you a little bit of a boost, eh? Boom! Look at that! Dodekamin Big! So this is the big bottle and it gives you all the ingredients. It's supposed to have 12 different types of ingredients to help you get more energy. I don't know exactly what they are, but they're all written on the side there. I put it in a nice cool glass to show you the color. It's very yellow, isn't it? Surprisingly yellow. So it doesn't quite look like beer, but yeah, it's very yellow, which I think a lot of energy drinks are. This is super popular with a lot of people in Japan. So as I'm sure you very well know, people here love to work hard. So, you know, they need something to give them a little extra bit of energy. So if you're passing by one of the vending machines, you're definitely going to see this in the Asahi vending machines. It's usually in a smaller bottle, but let's give it a try. Okay, itadakimasu. Very pleasant, very pleasant. Compared to something like Red Bull or Monster, it's much milder. And it's supposed to have, it says here, 12 different ingredients to give you energy. And it says big thing here, Genki Bakuhatsu, which basically means if you drink this, you're going to be jumping up and down all day. Yeah, definitely much milder. but you can taste. This is one of those energy drinks. As we saw in the video earlier, it's almost bright yellow, as a lot of those drinks are. I think the color gives you the energy, but yeah, this is good. Obviously, I'm just drinking it right now. I don't know how much energy I'm going to have, so it's difficult to say, but it definitely feels like it could give you a wee kick. Okay, I've prepared an icy cold glass. I just put it in the freezer. I'm not going to have it with ice cubes this time because probably I don't really think you're supposed to drink these kind of things with ice cubes. I don't know, I just don't feel that's right. So I'm going to put it in a nice icy cold glass just to give it that fancy touch. Oh, there she goes. Okay, so let's see what it tastes like from a glass. Will it taste different? I don't know, I think it tastes sweeter in the glass. I know what it is. When you drink it straight from the bottle, it's more bubbly. But when you put it in the glass, a lot of the carbonation escapes, so it seems to make it taste a little bit sweeter. Yeah, that's funny that, isn't it? What a weird phenomenon. Anyway, this is Dodekamin Big. This comes in at 150 yen, including tax, which is exactly $1. The total calories is 114. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5. The reason being, I quite like energy drinks normally, but I usually drink the other ones. So this is made in Japan. It's made by the Asahi company. So it's got a little bit of different taste, different angle. It's coming at you from a different angle. It's milder. It seems slightly more, how should I say, natural in terms of taste. Probably not, but today's little lot came in at 765 yen, including tax, which is $5.12. Not bad at all. Calorie-wise, 631. Well, it didn't break the bank, did it? So, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.